And I want to make sure that I get this in, though. I said I'm not skipping the live stream for our coaches in the boot camp. So day 3 of the boot camp, we're going to cover today the master key to the coaching business. As I've been doing over the past days, we've been covering these distinctions that are the keys to the locks on the doors of successfully starting your coaching business. And we're now really getting into the boot camp. You know, chances are might have had a couple sessions already with your fellow coaches, maybe made it to a couple of your masterminds, hopefully by now. I know we've had a coaching session already, so hopefully you're at my coaching session at some point. But regardless, remember, you know, in Quick Start, it's really up to you what you do and what you're up to and what you're participating in and what you're not. You know, it's always your choice. We're just trying to make this a fun atmosphere to create momentum for you to move forward with the things that you know you need to do, and also give you some strategic support for moving what you are doing to an even higher level. So one of the things that I haven't talked about yet is that there's really not that many ways to grow a coaching business. There's really three big ways. The first one is partnerships, the second one is internet, and the third one is events. So with partnerships, you work with others that already have your customer, they send you customers. On the internet, obviously, there's a million different ways you can generate business over the internet, as you have probably noticed over the past 10 years. That's been developing quite a bit. And in events, you know, there's a really great opportunity to have kind of a captive audience, obviously, an event that you're holding that attracts a very particular group or niche or whatever. And then they can turn into coaching clients. All three of those methods have tremendous leverage as well, which I love about them. But there's one master key that they all have in common. Now, whereas yesterday, day 2, we talked a lot about kind of the overarching entry points and opportunity areas, the who, what, where, of, you know, kind of sizing up where's opportunity for me as a coach, the questions you need to ask, the ups and downs of the different venues and opportunities, the wheres and the who's, and then ultimately, you know, how you can devise where you might ultimately help potential clients to discover you, and then ultimately to work with you as well. And the invitation process, the conversational invitations that happen to get people to move in the direction of working with you, hiring you as a coach. So, but what I just covered, partnerships, internet, events, that is a more advanced set of domains that you can take to another level by devising very particular partnership strategies, very particular internet strategies, and very particular event strategies, or a combination, a hybrid of several of those, to move this kind of overall gestalt of like, where's my opportunity and where are my entry points, to another level, to lever them up, if you will, to have a more bang for the buck, you know, more power for every swing that you make of the bat, so to speak. So instead of hitting one ball, you hit 20, so to speak. That's leverage, right? But you may not start there. And opportunity areas abound even in low leverage environments where you don't necessarily have this huge amount of clients that come in just because you made a couple phone calls or something like that, which is totally fine. And that's probably where you want to start. You don't want to start with crazy amounts of leverage. You're just learning, right? And at the same time, as I just mentioned, all the high leverage strategies on the street, and then ultimately create a relationship with them to the point where they become a client of yours. They all have one master key in common, and that is the master key to the coaching business, master key to this entire business. And before I share with you what that is, a little bit of anticipation here, I will also tell you that even though all the high leverage and low leverage strategies have this one master key in common, I'll also tell you that every coaching business on the planet uses this master key Now, not all of them only use this master key, but all of them use it. I would challenge you to find me one successful, long-term successful coaching business on the planet Earth that doesn't use this master key as well. So I'm just going to get to it now and what the master key is. And that is, and it's also, by the way, sorry, more anticipation here, something that we actually do focus on in your game in QUICKSTART Coaching Code, because I want you involved in that master key. I want you taking advantage of that master key and getting clients from that master key from day one. And you really need to do this. There's no way around it. In my experience, in my opinion, I've never seen a coaching business not get started without highly leveraging this master key. And so here, finally, this is the master key after 6 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it was, 6 minutes of real conversation about this. It's free coaching sessions, otherwise known as across the pond discovery sessions, but free strategy sessions, discovery sessions, coaching sessions, they're the master key to the coaching business, bar none. That's it. I will promise you one thing, make you one promise besides anything else that you go through in the boot camp, which is if you do enough free sessions, you will get enough paying clients. If you do enough free sessions, you will get enough paying clients. I don't know exactly what that number is because there are some variables there, but yeah, I mean, let's just blow it up to the kind of the most obvious and the most conservative estimate. If you do 100 free sessions, you are not going to have to worry about whether or not you have clients coming in, because you'll always have control over that. Now, you might worry because you don't really want to do the work and you want to find a different way to get clients, but there'll never be an issue, like you'll never have an issue as to whether or not you can get a client again in your life. If you really need to get clients, you'll go get clients because you know how to do it, because you'll have actually done it by that time. So just run 100 free sessions and you're good. Now, two things I want to cover in this conversation about this master key, these coaching sessions, these free sessions. Before I get to that though, I want to give you some very simple outlines of kind of what the boundaries are, kind of what the game is for setting and running free sessions. So the first one is that the reason why I call these free sessions is not because they're always free. Because you could actually sell these. You could get somebody to pay you for the free session, so to speak. I don't run free sessions anymore. I have a very full coaching calendar. I won't show you it right here, but my coaching days are, they fill 30 days or more out. But I don't do free sessions. And a part of that's just because I have ongoing clients and I have businesses that send me a lot of clients, etc., and partnerships as well. There's no doubt I've got some leverage. But I do get new paying clients at times. But I never do free sessions for them. They always pay me for the first session. But it's still set up such that it's a low barrier to entry, such that it's a no-brainer for the people that I actually want to do a session with, that they will pay me for that session, right? And the amount that they pay me is something that they don't even have to think about. It's like, well, oh, hey, to work with Jeff for that amount, yeah, I'll do it. I'm very happy to do that, okay? So in a way, I mean, it's not free, but it's like, I don't know if you call it cheap, but it's a session that there's no barrier to. So the reason I call these free sessions is because you've eliminated any friction, any barriers, any prohibition of somebody doing the session, other than whether they even want to do it or not. If somebody wants to do the session with you, you don't want to put up any barriers. And so obviously them paying you or the money involved could be a huge barrier for somebody initially for whatever reason. Maybe they don't have any money. You know, maybe they have money, but they don't think that it's going to be that worth it. They don't want to feel stupid about spending money on something that didn't work out. I don't really care, but whatever it is, you don't want that barrier. You want to run the session. The session is an opportunity for both of you here. So don't like not do a session because somebody's not going to pay you. Run the session, okay? So the reason I call this free is there's no barriers. You're going to run lots of sessions for as many people that actually have any interest whatsoever of running a session with you, and they don't feel like they can't trust you, or they don't like you, or they wouldn't ever want to have a coaching sessions with you. Obviously, those individuals aren't going to do a session anyway. But anybody else, anybody who's like, yeah, I'd be willing to do a session with Jeff. There's no other barrier. It's free and easy for them to go ahead and run a session with you. Does that make sense? It's just making sure there's no barriers erected. So that's one boundary that we're setting up here. That's one part of the game of free sessions, that they're basically free, okay? Besides that, the rest of the game is just that you have as many of them as possible, as you can comfortably do, with as great people as possible. I mean, you want to do them with people that are the best possible prospects for you, but do them, if you can't do them with them, do them with whoever you got, okay? I'm not saying, what's more important than doing them with perfect people is doing them at all, okay? So the number of free sessions is more important than who is the target of them, okay? At first, at least, as you're starting. So just getting the ball rolling with these. And then finally, just running them to fruition and then enrolling people in coaching who are still a fit for you. And after running the free sessions, it makes sense to still work with them, right? And you'll know by the time you're done with that session. That's pretty much it. That's what I mean by free coaching sessions. I don't mean something you call a coaching session, but you don't actually give them anything. They don't get any value. They don't get any coaching from you. And all you do is sell, right? That's not a free session. Okay, now there are free session models that actually that is the approach that people take. There's no doubt, a sales-driven free session, if you will. But that's not my definition, and that shouldn't be your definition in QUICKSTART. You might get to the point where that makes sense for you to do that. I've never done that personally, and I don't ever plan to. It's just not my style. I want to make sure somebody gets value before I want to give the value first before I ask for them to pay me for something. Besides just that initial investment, which is very small, that they make. But again, I didn't do that for years. So just backpedaling here. I don't mean a free session is a trick to get people to think you're going to give them something and then don't give them anything and then make them pay for the next thing, right? That's not a free session. I just don't think that's very honest. And yes, you can successfully do that. I'm not recommending you do that in QUICKSTART in your first 10, 20, 40 free sessions. We didn't even give you that model in QUICKSTART because I don't want to confuse the issue. Okay, can be done successfully, but there's times and ways where that is done successfully, and you may not be in that situation. I don't want to get into that detail right now. So free session, it's free or low barrier. You're adding value in the session. You're attempting to enroll people who are still a good fit for you at the end of that session, and you're doing as many of them as humanly possible with whoever you can get, regardless of the quality of the person, although you want to optimize for quality. Does that make sense? That's it. Those are the boundaries. Them's the rules of the game. If you could just win that game, you get 100 of those, 100 people you really added value to, or attempted to at least, and then you enrolled the people or attempted to enroll the people that you thought were a good fit for you, and you got the best people you could in those 100, you're going to have a coaching business, you're going to have a successful coaching business, and you'll have learned so much from that. You're not going to come to me saying, gosh, how do I get clients? Because you're going to know how to get clients at that point. Why? Why do this? Why does that work? I'll give you a couple explanations. Because part of this is just, okay, now I know what Jeff says I should do. But, and we can get into how, and you got the rest of the boot camp to figure that out and for us to work on that together. But it's important to understand, why would I need to justify doing this if this is my basis for the business model. Let me at least know that I got a good reason for actually doing it. I'm going to put a lot of time and energy into this. I want to know why. Why am I doing this, Jeff? Other than just having blind faith and trusting that you say it's going to work out if I do. So let me explain. First of all, have you ever been walking around like a strip mall or a regular mall or even a grocery store where they have free samples? And you're not even hungry. You're not you're shopping for something, but maybe you're not even shopping for what it is that they're handing out. But you just take it anyway, just because it's free. It's like, well, sure, I'll try it. I guess it's free. What the heck? And you try it, and then it's like all of a sudden you're buying the stuff. because it's really good. Or you saw a demonstration. Let's say you went to like Whole Foods or Costco and you saw them demonstrate the fancy Vitamix, and all of a sudden now you got a Vitamix at home that you hardly use. I remember somebody in my family once came home with they came home with a like a smoker grill. Like I totally don't understand what this is, but it's like it's a regular grill where you can grill meat and stuff like that, and then you have these wood pellets that create smoke, so you can get cancer even faster from the meat that you smoked, and it gives us this smoky flavor, I guess, right? So they brought this smoker grill home, and why? Because they were in the parking lot of the Costco, and the guy had the smoker grill, and he was making meat with it, and they were like, "Woo, smoky meat!" And $600-$700 later, they got a smoker grill. We used it like 3 times. Okay, why did we buy this stuff? It's the same reason why when I went to the Spectrum Center in Irvine, that was walking by with my girlfriend at the time, this Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. They're handing out free samples at the door. We walk over, we have a free sample. It's really amazing. It's so sweet, like the candy they were giving us. So we walked in and came out with like $30 worth of candy. What is happening here? There's a low barrier entry, right? It's something that we're not going to say no to. It's like we don't really care about it. We don't really necessarily want it, but we'll take it. We'll take it for free. Free is good. But by the time we're done consuming the thing that you gave me, now we want more. And that's the key. You're going to give these sessions away because you know that the only way you're going to get them to actually want coaching that they don't understand and never experience and feel like it might be scary anyway is that you give them an experience they're going to want more of. That's why you got to add the value in the session. Once you have them wanting the thing, now they might enroll. Now you actually got a chance. You can't just enroll somebody out of the blue cold, though. They have a clue what you're going to offer them, generally speaking, especially when you're starting. Also, free sessions are easy. Okay, I mean, like, look, if you're a coach, you want to be a coach, and you've been trained at all in coaching skills, like within QUICKSTART or some other program for that matter, coaching is not that hard for you. You just do it. Or you do it and you really want to do it and you're decent at it. So running free sessions is easy. It's easy to do because what are you doing? You're just coaching. You're going to run a coaching session. Can you do that? If the answer is yes, then you can run a coaching business because that's the hamburger that you're flipping at McDonald's here. So it's easy because coaching is what you do. And also, the posture that you create with your potential client is you are their coach. You're already their coach. They haven't even paid you and they've enrolled in coaching just by showing up for the coaching session. Now it's just money changing hands. Like, I mean, that's substantial. It's a big barrier, but it's not everything. It's a much bigger barrier to let somebody coach me. Right? Like, do I trust you? Do I even know you? That's huge. You got them across that barrier, you're great. Just do a good job coaching, then sign them up for something at a price they can afford and that they're happy with based upon the value exchange. So the posture is you are a coach, really hard posture to take on. You're no longer a salesperson. You're not trying to like manipulate somebody. You're just making recommendations as a great coach. What a great opportunity there. And finally, it helps me believe, like when I run a session, I now believe I can help you if I actually already helped you. And you believe it too, but I want to believe it. I don't want to like get you to pay me for something. I don't think it's going to work out very well. So it's really, really important to know that like you are gonna like deliver value so that you could feel good about actually enrolling them as well. Does that make sense? And then finally, you can also filter people. Like if somebody doesn't show up for the session repeatedly, or they just don't want to do the session, they're never gonna sign up for coaching anyway, right? So that's fine. It's a filter for you. Whoever shows up, sign them up for paid coaching. Anybody that doesn't show up, follow up for sure, try to get them back, but if they don't ever show up for a coaching session for free, they're never going to pay you for coaching either. So those are all the reasons why free sessions really make a difference. There's many more, but that's what we got time for. Battery's running low here on the phone for YouTube, so I'm scared here. So anyway, so let me give you some examples. When I worked for Tony Robbins, we'd go to a Tony Robbins seminar. At the end of the seminar, they had these members of the Must team. Farrell was one of those, if you guys have worked with Farrell before. And they would have momentum sessions. They'd sign them up for these free sessions that you could attend, and they'd move them and upsell them, so to speak. They move them to the next program, basically. And those were coaching sessions. I've done one of those coaching sessions. It got me to take some of Tony's more expensive seminars before I ever worked for him. They added value and basically got me to move to the next level, and I was ready to do that. There is a coaching business I consult with. They do adult education presentations. After the presentation that they do across the country, they run little 15-minute free sessions and enroll people in a $5,000 coaching program after one step of attending a one-time class. It's amazing what they can do. $5 million a year in coaching sold. How do they do it? Free sessions. Consults and audits. So like if you walk into a business and you're going to do a consult on their marketing or an audit on their financing, their finances, or an audit on their human resource development and training, it's like, great, do it for free or very cheaply. Give them an analysis of what the business needs, what they don't need. You offer it to them and say, hey, do you want me to help you with this? They're going to be like, wow, like, this is what we need. This is what we're looking for. Please let us pay you. Right? That's a phenomenal example of a free session in a business coaching scenario. Online free sessions are all over the place. When you sign up for a webinar, you know, they'll tell you to consult with whomever after the webinar. They'll have you fill out an application before you can even talk to somebody sometimes for some of these higher priced programs. It's another way of filtering and then again, moving people to free sessions, basically. When you work with JVs, if I work with a partner and they don't sell coaching, but they want to send us clients, they can send us clients to do free sessions with. We run the free sessions, sign those clients up for coaching, and everybody wins and makes money. In events, same thing. I already gave you a couple examples of that. If I'm at an event, I run the event, I'm going to set appointments with all those people at the event, and then they're going to run sessions with me, and I'm going to sign them up for coaching or for whatever program. So the entire pie strategies, partnerships, internet, events, they all point to free sessions. The only point of doing all that is to get people into free sessions at the end of the day. Even if you don't do any of those and you're just a wandering guru, you're a wandering messiah, going to Denny's and meeting people at Denny's and then signing people up for coaching, don't sign them up at Denny's. Talk to them at Denny's, get them interested, pitch them a free session or interview them and talk to them about what their goals are to the point where they want to work with you in at least a free session. Then move them out of Denny's, move them out of the place that you met them into a free session environment where you are now their coach, at least their free coach. Then change their life for the better in some really substantial way and give them a really heavy-duty breakthrough. Then they're going to be ready to sign up for coaching. It's a two-step, not a one-step. You don't just meet somebody and sign them up for coaching. You meet them, you get them to commit to a free session, they show up to the free session, and then that's step two. Free session turns into paid coaching. Hope that makes sense. We're going to cover this in a lot more detail later on, but that's the game. The entire game, the entire bootcamp, everything we're doing, there's one reason we're doing it. That's this master key. Running free sessions. I don't need you talking to people if you can't set free sessions with them. That's why you need a prospect. That's why that's part of the game. Setting and running free sessions, those are things that you'll be reporting on every week. And then finally, signing people up for coaching, those are only going to happen when you ran a free session with people, generally speaking. I mean, 9 times out of 10, that's where it's going to happen. So your outcome for this week is to set and run some free sessions with anyone. I don't care who. Just get on the board. Make something happen with this master key. As soon as you've done it, first, second, third time, you are, in my opinion, in business, but also your next paid client or your first paid client is just around the corner as long as you run free sessions. So start running some free sessions immediately. Find somebody that'll do it with you. I don't care how you make it happen. And we'll talk about how as we go forward here. But remember, that's your game, and just decide how you want to play it. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.